Welcome. This is a short sequence to help you relax and ease away neck and shoulder tension. So let's start lying down on the mat. Put your head to one end and bend at the knees, soles of the feet resting on the floor. Your feet can be wide and your knees just bending, resting in towards each other. And take one hand onto your belly and the other hand just over the center of your chest. And if you're comfortable to close your eyes, you can close your eyes now. If not, just have them half open. So you're softening the gaze. And just start to deepen your breath and take stock of where you are in this moment, landing in your body, using your breath to take you in. Inhaling, deep breath as the belly rises. And exhaling, the navel draws back to the spine, relaxing, softening, releasing. Breathing in, just noticing what you bring with you to this moment. Physically, any tension held. Exhaling as you soften, relax, release. Perhaps noticing any mental or emotional baggage you're also bringing with you to this moment. And with the intention to soften, create spaciousness in your being. Very nice. Just walk your feet a little bit closer together now. Bring your arms out to the side, and just for a few moments, let's drop the knees over to the right. Keep your gaze up to the ceiling for now. Inhale, bring the knees back to center, and drop them all the way over to the left on the exhale. Inhale, knees back to center. Exhale, knees to the right, and this time turn your gaze gently to the left. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. Exhale, drop them to the left. Take your gaze to the right. One more like this, inhaling to the center. Exhaling, knees to the right, gaze to the left. To center, knees to left, nose to right. Very good. Inhale, bring yourself back to the center. And then slowly roll over onto your right side. And using your hands, bring yourself all the way up to seated. Good. So on your seated position, just take your hands and just place them where your top of your pelvis is, so the top of the pelvic bowl, and just notice if it's lower than your knees. So mine is lower than my knees. So I'm going to lift my hips up a little bit with a blanket. You can use a blanket, a cushion, just to elevate yourself up a little bit so that there is more of a downward slope. The knees just below the top of the pelvic rim. Good. So you can sit cross-legged or heel to heel, whichever feels comfortable for you. Take a deep breath in and take your right hand to the side now. Lift your left arm all the way up and over and just spider your fingers out to the side as you open the side body. The bottom arm can bend, and perhaps you move the elbow towards the floor. A little adjustment there. Reaching through the fingertips of the top hand. And as you spend a few more breaths here, start to allow the right ear to drop, creating length and space across the left side of your neck. We carry a lot of tension around our neck and our shoulders. Very normal to feel tightness building up here. You can keep the eyes closed if that feels nice to you. Good, and then leaving everything where it is except for the top hand, bringing the top hand all the way up and over, and start to reach through the fingertips of the top hand, that would be your left hand, reaching through to the other side of the mat. The arm is around about 45 degrees. The right ear continues to drop. And you'll find a little sweet spot here where there's a lengthening and a stretching across the side of the neck. And take 2 more breaths here. And with each exhale, softening. Once more, keeping the right ear where it is, using the left hand to pull yourself up to center. And taking the right palm of your hand to the right side of your face and just coaxing your head back up. Noticing how that feels in your body. And let's go the other side, spidering the left fingers out, taking the top hand all the way up and over, dropping the left ear to the shoulder this time. You might notice one side of your neck is more tense than the other. There's more resistance, more tightness than the other. Just keep opening to the intention that you are releasing the left shoulder down. You are releasing the left ear towards the left shoulder. And you're inflating your breath into the right side of your neck, this top side of your neck here. Let's keep 2 more breaths. With both sit bones clearly grounding into the earth. Good, and then keeping everything where it is apart from the top hand, turning the palm to face upwards and then bringing the top hand all the way up and over. Your palm now faces down as it reaches towards the bottom end of your mat. Arm is around 45 degrees, and you can find the sweet spot by gently perhaps dropping the chin, turning it more towards the floor. Just play around with a little bit of gentle, subtle movement there with your positioning of your chin. And there's an extension of the right fingertips away from you as you continue to drop and release and allow the left ear to descend towards the left shoulder. Now using the right fingertips now to bring you all the way up, taking the left hand to the side of your face, coaxing your face upwards so your head is now plumb over your hips. Very good. Take your right arm all the way up and bend at the elbow so that the arm is just behind you into the middle of your shoulder blades, and then take the other arm and find the fingertips. Now, if you can't find your fingertips, you can just hold your top, or you could take a belt or a strap. But if you can find the fingertips, just do so. Not to face you. Breathing into the space. And as you do so, inhaling, allow the right elbow to reach up. And exhaling, allow the shoulders to drop back. Invite your chin to be just parallel to the floor. Give a few more breaths here. And let's release that out with a full breath. At the center, let's take the other arm up, bending at the elbow and finding either the fingertips, using the belt or strap that you may have, or using your top as a point of leverage. And once more, the invitation is to soften the shoulders back. And just know that this is, for many of us, a really challenging shape to put our arms and shoulders in. And it's really something that over time, with some practice, you start to open up this area. Good. One more breath here. And release the hands all the way down. Extend the arms out now to the side. And just bringing the arms all the way in, fingers to touch. And then bring the elbows to touch. And then bring the fingers to touch. And then bring the elbows to touch. And the fingers. One more, elbows and fingers. Extend your arms out to the side and take your right elbow into your left elbow, making eagle arms. So you can bring palms together and hold your own hand. And then scooping the elbows forwards and allowing the hands to drop to the right, just subtly, and the head to drop, shoulder to the left ear. Breathe once more into the side of your neck. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhaling, elbows scooping forwards. Exhaling, navel to spine on the out breath. Good, and release back to center. Unravel your arms back out. Let's go the other way. Scooping the elbows forwards and dropping the arms over to the left. Dropping the head over to the left. Breathe into the space behind you between the shoulder blades. So you're really opening some intentional space there at the back of your body. Very nice. Let's take one more breath here. Scooping elbows forwards. Releasing ear to the shoulder. Good. Bring your head back to center. Unravel the arms all the way out to the side. And then bring them back down, resting onto your thighs. Roll your shoulders back. Here a few crunches. Taking a few more shoulder rolls. Oh, that feels really good. Good, and then the other way. Good. So come to all fours. Take your hands right underneath your wrists and your hips right over your knees. Inhale to drop the belly, cat-cow, lifting the face. And then exhale, reverse the flow, puffing the kidneys to the sky, pressing down on the tops of your feet. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the face. Exhale, reverse. Let's take one more like this. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the face. And exhale, arching the back the other way. Come to a flat back. And now we're going to turn our fingers to the side. And for some of us, that will be plenty. For some of us, we're going to turn our fingers all the way back so that the fingers are pointing towards the knees with a little micro bend into the arms here. And taking some little circles around to the right. And what this does is it opens up the line all the way up the inner arm, all the way up to your shoulders. Opens the lungs a little bit, creates space for a little bit of a deep breath. Just little micro circles around. It's also really good for us if if we've been on a device, on a computer, on our phones a lot. Just helps to open up the joint in the other way. In the other direction now, counterclockwise. Against the grain. Some little micro circles around. Good. Good. Very good. Into stillness. And then flip your hands forwards. No drama, just place them straight back down. Tuck your toes and for a moment come and sit back onto your heels with your toes tucked. Interlace your fingers to the webbing behind you and draw your shoulder blades together and down and back behind you as you lengthen your arms out. Your gaze is just in front of you, opening up not only the soles of the feet here, these part of our feet which really gets ignored. Some intensity, no doubt, for you, as there is for me here. Draw the shoulders down and the ears, shoulder blades squeeze together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. A little mini massage for yourself here. And then release that. Come back onto all fours. You might need to just at the tops of your feet there. And now please take your right hand up to the sky, and thread it all the way underneath you, and resting on your right shoulder. Keep your hips over your knees. Inhale once more, take your right hand up to the sky, and then thread it underneath your left. And again, inhaling, bringing your hand up to the sky, and threading it underneath you. Resting here on the right side temple for a moment. And perhaps you can take your hand and spider it forwards, your left hand that is. Or you may choose to take your left hand and rest it palm down on your lower back, or all the way to tuck into either your right thigh or the waistband of your leggings or whatever it might be that you're wearing. And take 2 more breaths here. And replace the left hand now underneath your left shoulder. Bring yourself up to all fours. And just take the other side together. Left hand comes up. Reach, 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 and then threading it underneath the right, resting on your left shoulder. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release, threading it underneath your left shoulder. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, threading it underneath your left shoulder. Take the right hand now to rest on your lower back. Or spidering the hand out in front of you if you prefer that. or taking the hand all the way to the left thigh, or the waistband. Each exhale draws the belly button back to the spine. We'll take one more breath here. Good. Releasing out, taking right hand underneath your right shoulder. Walk yourself back now to come onto your belly. All the way down, and take your arms out like a T shape. And then walk the left hand underneath the left shoulder and roll onto your right side. So you're getting a little opening in your right shoulder here. You could take your left leg and bend it either behind you or in front of you, or you can just have it balancing here on the top of the right foot. And just teasing the right shoulder open, just gently. Teasing the right shoulder open, gently. Just a few more breaths here. Feeling the winding down now, quality of your practice. Release the leg, roll back onto your belly. Left hand extends out, left ear to the mat. Right hand comes underneath your right shoulder as you gently roll yourself onto the left side with the right foot either behind you, in front of you, or just balancing on top of the left. Some people like to take a blanket underneath their head. You could play around with that so that the spine is slightly straighter. It can feel really nice. Blanket or a cushion underneath your head. And take 2 more breaths here. Good. Back to center onto your belly. And then let's roll over onto our back, ending where we began. Knees bent. Arms out to the side. It's time to lift your knees up and off of the ground. Put your feet together and dropping the knees over to the right with an exhale. Inhale to center. Dropping the knees over to the left. Inhale back to center. Drop the knees over to the right and rest there for a few breaths as you turn the head softly, gently, if it feels nice, to the left. And you can make this more intense by bringing the knees closer to your arm, or less intense by drawing the knees further away from you. So you get to mediate the experience. You get to choose how it feels in your body. Good. Inhale back to center, drop the knees all the way over to the left. Gaze over to the right if that feels good in your body. A sense now of everything slowing down for you. Inviting relaxation into your body, noticing any sensations in the breath. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. And then extend the legs out, or just take a couple of minutes in resting position. If your lower back's sensitive in any way, you can take knees bent, feet wide, with the knees resting against each other. You can take a cushion or a bolster underneath your knees. You can cover yourself over with a blanket. Once more, take one hand to belly and one hand to heart, closing the eyes. For a few moments, place your awareness on the sensation of your breath as you inhale. And as you exhale, aware of all of the places where your body is touching the floor. A sense of melting into the support of the floor now. Relaxation of the shoulders, heaviness of the hips, back of the calves, the heels, back of the head. Fully supported. On your next inhale, take all of your awareness to the center of your brain. And on your exhale, turn the spotlight of your mind down towards your heart. And rest here for the next few breaths. Begin to move fingers and toes, breathing in such a way as you can gently wiggle fingers and toes, waking yourself back. Bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a lovely hug. We'll roll across the lower back. And then roll onto your side, use your arm as a pillow. And when you're ready, come to seated. Put your hands over your heart center. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for taking care of yourself. See you soon.